All right, catching up on a couple of stories after our vacation week, including Deb Murphy filing a report noting that Matt Kingsley put the Owens Lake trails into perspective at the official opening of the 4-mile system, complete with art installations. Inyo County's 5th District Supervisor admitted he was initially skeptical of the public access element of the dust mitigation project. The lake wasn't very inviting, Kingsley said, but now when I think about Owens Lake, I think about this. Part of Kingsley's this was the Plaza Trailhead, site of the ribbon cutting, a half-mile stroll through what scientists would call dust mitigation, but those who took the walk would call grassland surrounding shallow ponds, reflecting the Sierra Nevada, ending at the Plover Wing Plaza, surrounded by rock nests, seating, shade, and information kiosks. Dust mitigation has been in the works for the past 20 years, and the lake has morphed from a brutal construction zone to a mesmerizing, quiet habitat and a humanitarian sanctuary. The public access recreational element was part of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's mandate. But during the opening ceremonies at the Visitors Center south of Lone Pine and the Plaza ribbon cutting, politics were set aside. Richard Harrisick, LADWP's director of water operations, started the formal part of the program. Harrisick worked on the mitigation project for 8 years, starting in 1998, then returned a couple of years later to the realization that the dust control project had accidentally turned into a bird sanctuary. He later admitted LADWP, quote, came to the table kicking and screaming, but once we were there, we came in style, end quote. Phil Cadu's perspective was on the dust not blowing off Owens Lake. As the badge for the Great Basin Unified Air Pollution Control District, Cadu had all the numbers. 46.8 square miles of dust control within the 110 square miles of the former lake bed, 75 tons of PM10 pollution once howling off the lake in any given year, making Owens the largest polluter in the world. To date, emissions have been reduced by 96%, with 100% attained by 2017. A task nearly as tough as controlling the dust was softening the straight lines and sharp angles of the 100 miles of roads and acres tilled soil designer Perry Cardoza found on the lake. Cardoza's of Nuvis Landscape Architecture answer and inspiration was the angle of the snowy plover's wing, replicated in the stone columns at the Plaza Trailhead. A photograph of plovers in flight was turned into cutouts into the patinated steel overhang that formed shadows in reverse on the ground below. The flatness of the play is broken up by 14 waves of gravel that are both highly photogenic and help deflect the winds. Now, once everyone was shuttled to the plaza, Kathy Bancroft, Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Lone Pine Paiute Shoshone Reservation, blessed what she identified as a sacred place. The ribbon, like the project itself, proved tough to cut, but LADWP and Inyo residents got the job officially done. We thank Deb Murphy for that story. Deb also filed a report noting that Inyo County voters got a taste of the 5 candidates running for the House of Representatives for our area Tuesday evening at Independence Legion Hall, hosted by the Independence Civic Club. The forum was much more civilized than the National Arena, despite the presence of a former Minuteman and a Sierra Club member. Incumbent Paul Cook was represented by written statements and responses to 3 prepared questions read by moderator Rose Masters. Democrat John Pinkerton was represented by Al Morissette. Republican Tim Donnelly and Democrats Rita Ramirez and Roger LaPlante were on hand in person. Now, the opening statements went a long way in defining the candidates. Pinkerton, a San Bernardino resident since 1992, is a school counselor and president of the Victor Valley College Board of Trustees. Morissette described him as a Kennedy-type Democrat, moderate to conservative by today's standards. Donnelly feels the greatest threat to the future is our government. He intends to kick government off our land. Ramirez, a 29 Palms resident, is a former educator whose family came to this country in 1900. LaPlante retired from the Army as a veterans advocate for the VFW and Sierra Club member who wants to get back to citizen leadership. Cook, already a well-known entity in Inyo County, provided no opening statement. Now you can please see our website, sierrawave.net, for more from the Congressional Forum. Also, Deb has a story from last Tuesday's Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting. Well, the second annual Mammoth Lakes Film Festival is coming up at the end of the month. You can go to their website, mammoth-lakes-filmfestival.com, for all the details, and we have a full press release posted on sierrawave.net. Here's a glimpse of what festival goers will enjoy.
Podejrzewamy, że ktoś wykorzystuje sytuację i handluje.
O czym?
Na lekcji nie powinieneś być.
Siku, idę.
To kiedy idziesz na operację?
Change your body, change your life. Just do it.
I'm running away! Kocham cię.
Revenge is good. Revenge tastes fine. I feel much better every time I get mine.
Siki, od kogo kupiłeś?
Moje.
Jesteś w ciąży?
Masakra.
Baby bump.
All right, MammothLakesFilmFestival.com, and I will be giving away 2 all-festival passes this Friday during our morning show on Sierra Wave Radio, so we hope you tune in for that. We'll be back with a weather report.